Hey guys, so it's me, and I've got a basket full here of some inspiration for your gratitude journals, ones that I've done in the past. This is the wee one that you know that I've reworked. It started off with coffee and tea in it, and it was very muted. If you check the album, you'll see the original cover and you'll see a page for the inside and just how muted it was. But I also wanted to bring this wee one alive for a wee bit more colour because of the way I was feeling. So I went back in with some, I never know how you pronounce it. Is it gouache or gouache or gouache? No idea. But yeah, so this is my wee gratitude journal. But what I want to say here is, it doesn't have to be the same as what I've created. It's just like a wee starting point. I'm putting that back in so I didn't lose it. It's just a wee starting point for you. I mean, I've got some cardboard sitting here, and I'm thinking that this is what I'm probably going to use for my next one. It came out in my ceramics, and I thought, oh, I quite like the feel of that. So that'll probably be my next one. But I just thought I'd show you a few Maui journals, because it doesn't have to just be paper. You could get an old book, like what I did. I took a lot of the pages out of this. You can see there's not a lot in there. I put a fabric cover on. Absolutely love doing that. So if you love your stitch work, you can do that. And got my stamped words down there. I've forgotten how much I love these wee books. And you can put wee tags on it as well. Loose threads are my thing. But it's whatever makes your heart and your soul sing. Whatever you actually love to do. And all I did for this wee one was I took some pages out, totally gutted it, stuck maybe 2 or 3 pages together to get a bit of thickness. I taped in with masking tape, some wee envelopes, wax seals to keep wee things hidden in there, used some die cuts, can you see that? And there you go, that is your typical tea and coffee. And you can see the embossing really, it's coming up lighter on the video, but it really stands out against those pages. But it still left me room to journal. I put, you could either use so tea coffee stain, getting carried away by myself, tea coffee stain. I've actually got some brewing. I've no coffee left, I'm really gutted. We didn't drink it, I only use it for my art, so I need to buy some coffee, but I've got 5 tea bags in there, you can see how dark it is. And then I've got another one because I've no coffee. And I think, yeah, there's 2 tea bags in there. Maybe just add some on, just while I'm here because I love it. Mad. Mad. I'm not putting my juice in though. But, so I started off by, I did the tea and coffee. I did the coffee first, but if you're using tea, use the tea. Once you've got your pages stuck together, I use matte medium to stick mine together, and it really gives it a firmness. And then I went in with my brush, really wet, and I just splashed it all around. And I loved how it ran, and I would tip it so that it would get my drips, or I'd even blow on it. That's me blowing. And I just love how it turns out, and you can still write on it, which is grand. You could add your wee fabric patches in. There's just so much. I've not actually finished this wee one. See, you've got your sun, brave heart, let your light shine bright. So you could change this up with some of the words or alphabet words or out of books, anything at all like that. You could change it up to be a gratitude book, what makes them happy, what's going to fill you with joy, and just make sure that you leave some blank spaces through your artwork so that whoever is very lucky to receive what you have created with so much love, they get to fill it up, and it's just going to be such a treasure by the time it's finished. Here's a wee close-up. It's really bright here the day. Really bright, but you can see all the splatters. I mean, I've went into the pages with colour, but these are still waiting. They're still wearing. I even sewed the pages. I can't believe I had the patience. But I've actually sewed the pages. Oh, who's this? Ah, she's laminated. It's love. I'd forgotten you were in there, darling. There's one of my die cuts. I might use it the coffee stained way. Who knows? And we receipts that you can coffee stain up so that it all ties in together. And there's your back page. So this eventually, I'll maybe get a bit of paper on there, or I might just stick that down depending how I feel. Just even using your paint pot. What you all know is use your paint pot lids, dip it in the coffee, put it on, and it leaves these gorgeous marks. I just love how tea and coffee react to the paper on top of the paint. It just makes me happy. But for this wee one, and where I am in life at the moment, I just needed just some extra colour on there, and there's some embossing on there as well. But yeah, so there's that. So you can get an old book. Do you remember the wee ones? I did that wee one as well. And I've used a glass front and I painted them, layered upon my material like this one, did my stitching, stuck it down, and then I used glossy accents just to hold the frame in place. Remember, better the world with a song. Laugh and be merry. Start the day with a song full of sunshine. And again, I've just done the same. This wee one was falling to bits. So I used brown parcel tape and I gessoed it. And then I stamped the background stamp on there. And I've actually reinforced that so that it shouldn't come apart. But just adding the background stamps or your wee doodles, I've got writing on there if you can see. This obviously is a full-blown one, but I've still left room where if you were given it, they could add journaling on if you were doing one like this. A lot of the words for here are a mix from the stamps across the sets, along with words out of old books, and I've even done it onto fabric as well. Honestly, don't be limited. Gather some supplies that make you absolutely happy. Some artwork. This is the original drawing for the choir. They're sold out in the shop, I think, singly at the moment, but they are coming back in. But yeah, I've even popped something that was personal to me, which you could either add something yourself to gift to your swap partner, or when they receive it, they might have something personal and they might want to stick it in as well. So yeah, there is so much you can do. Paper piecing, 3D, wiggle, waggle, waggle, do, 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 do. So yeah, I hope you're getting a wee gist of what you can do. So that's those ones. Or you can go down a really inexpensive route altogether where you're using packaging. Now, I came across this. This is years old. It's got Wish. I think it used to have a metal heart on it. And all it is nothing inside. I don't know what's happened to the insides of it, but there's a wee envelope. And all it is corrugated cardboard. And all I did at the time, I think it was with Pan Pastels, I just gessoed over the top, stuck a book paper down, went in with a wee bit yellow. I think it was Pan Pastels, but you could use whatever you've got. A bit gesso, some pen marks. I remember doing this vaguely because you're going back so many years. But I remember spritzing it and going in with the heat gun, and it gave me a lovely effect. Some of you may not like it, but I kind of like the charred, frayed kind of look that's on there. So yeah, you could use something like that. And then when it comes, you would just size your paper up to the size, fold them all in half. And like I did here, I did 3 holes. So you would clamp all your papers together, pretend all your papers are in there, and you would just clamp them there and clamp them there, so it holds everything in place once your papers are there. Do your 3 holes, and then you're ready to bind it. Yeah, I really like that still. Brings back memories. What else? Oh, plain copy paper. Most of us have got it if you've got printers. This was all done with plain copy paper, and again I've just done the 3 stitches and I've just used a wee bit of string to tie it together. But there you go. I do like mine's kind of chunky with loads of stuff in it. Again, you can see that I do love using the glass. It's the same here again. You're the light in my days. This here, with one of the soul symbols and the soul whispers, that was just a bit plastic off my clothes that I used. So yeah, you could incorporate that. Don't throw anything away. And all I did was coffee stain them, but this time I made a bath with them. There's loads of tutorials online. Check them out on YouTube. Just tap it in and they'll come up. But I baked my papers in the oven this time and it made them really nice and crisp, which I absolutely love. And then I ironed them. I hate ironing, but I like ironing papers. So yeah, and the fabric, I kept it on neutral. Some of it's tea stained, some of it's coffee stained, but all the way through I used whatever I had in it. It was like bits of tissue paper, masking tape, book paper. This paper's even from the books that I've stamped on. Words from wee books. Again, you could see I've kept it very, very subtle with love there. Got to have my wee badges, and that's bandages, a wee bit of muslin that I've tea stained, a bit of calico, and just a few wee stitches at the top, so you didn't really have to be a sewer. Just put some wonky stitches in. Of course, I've written quite prominently on the back of that one with a white pen, But you could even leave that blank in whatever colour you're doing, and then whoever receives it could put a bit of writing round about there and making that, and then a wee bit here as well, so you've got a wee tag. And then music paper, you can't go wrong. You can see I've just been putting them in with tape just to reinforce the tissue paper before I put the holes in. I'm talking really fast. This was a leaf that I found, and this of course is all the angels of love and light, so I popped that in because it made me think of the wings, and it's angels, holy places. I made a wee pocket there so you could put tags in so they could hide their journaling if they want. And this was from sheet music, but I put a load of wee journaling in there as well, and it was to remind you to be happy, which would work really well for what we're doing. Some pages from a geographic book. There were certain words at the time that stood out to me, heavenly bodies. A wee hidden pocket there, and just putting some wee journaling in there that I had done. Again, a wee book in the middle that's made out of old book pages. You could add pockets, dried flowers. I love putting baby's breath and things that I do. You've probably seen that as well. But yeah, the list just goes on and on. Some die cut feathers with some of the soul symbols in there. And it's, believe me, be happy, you're the light of my days, reach for the stars, angels visits. Dad very much on my mind, as you can tell. To love yet again. So I think I've done a different technique. Tissue paper. So this one here, she's stamped straight on, and I just went round the black outline of the ink pad with a white pen and gave a wee few pops of highlights. And on the back here, I stamped it onto tissue paper, and I've put matte medium over the top, and I really loved the texture that it gave. Sorry, darling. And again, just going in with the white, exact same stamp, but see the difference? See the difference? You see them? There you go. So yeah, and finishing off with a fabric badge. So yeah, heaven on earth. What else? This wee one. Here we go. This was literally made up of tags, lots of tags, bits of paper cut up to match the tags. You can see the tags here. This was the same kind of paper that I'd cooked in the oven. Some paint swatches, little doodles, and my glass again. It seems to be a common theme with what I create. I do like using them in my books. May all your days be filled with joy and sunshine when you're looking up. And to me, that's all about counting your blessings, that you're here for another day. You get the chance to breathe and to look up at that gorgeous sky, whether it be raining, snow, sleet, whatever. It's just, when I'm walking and I'm on top of a hill up the back for us, and I've got my music quietly playing, call it my happy music, not to everybody's taste, but it really fills me with just joy and happiness. And I could start off and not be in a very great place, but as soon as my music comes on, you'll see me humming away, thankfully bang into a lot of folk up the hills, but yeah, I'll be humming away to the tune, and every step I take, I'm thankful. I say something that I'm thankful for in this life, for the fact that I woke up this morning, that my body's good, that everything's working as it should, one foot in front of the other, for my home, for the people that I love, for the electricity, for the water that runs through the tap. How lucky are we in this life? We've got to count our blessings every single day and just be happy with what we've got, and the rest will follow. So I didn't even get quite so deep there. But yeah, there's a lot of the stamps that work really well with the words. And if you've not got some of the words, then pick out some for books if you're not too precious about your books. And I've got wee badges. I've got my journal in there about each day is a gift. I get to be here to treasure. So this, I suppose, is a bit to me like loving the life that I've got and being thankful for it. Yeah. So yeah, the didgeridoo. Say I've got my journaling in there, so you would just leave some blank spaces and they would put their journaling in. Doodles on tags. It was on a paper in an old book. I really liked her, and she had a wee smile on her face. January 2022, I drew her, and I just stuck her down with matte medium and just watched the waves ebb and flow, dancing, chasing, moving, changing, dancing, changing, moving, chasing. And it's kind of how I feel when I lie on the grass and I look up at the sky. Some washi tape that I've made with the stamps. That's very personal. So yeah, bits that open up to different things. There is so much. So you can see it's all scraps of paper. I'm going to show you my wee stash. I am going to show you my wee stash as well. But yeah, and again, there's some wee bits there. I'm thanking my dad. That's the washi tape that I created as well. And there's loads of wee bits just waiting to get finished up that open up, I'm sure. Yeah, so there's that as well. That was just a tag for patterned paper that I wrapped around the front, and I wanted different layers, which is kind of what I got. And I used the gorgeous Rosanna's ribbons that she sent me, which I love. Very thankful to her. If you don't want to do something like that, then get yourself some mixed media paper or heavy watercolour card and just splat it fully. Do a big sheet and splat it with whatever paint you use. For me, I like watercolours, so I did a lot of splat, and you can see the colours there. There you go, that's better, the light's hitting it. So there you go, I can see a wee face there, it's like a dolphin. So lots of splatters. I didn't do any stamping on it at that point. Did all my splatters first. Sorry, there you go. I'm sorry it's so bright here today. I shouldn't be sorry because it's very rare for us here. But you can see I've even done some stenciling on there. So more glass on every single one of these. Some wee charms with words with Tim Holtz. So yeah, you could do that. So I had a big sheet, I think it was A2 watercolour paper. And all I did, I'm going to put that there so you can maybe see it better. So yeah, I splattered it all with watercolour, and then I chopped it up, and then I went into each single page and I stamped my story through the wee ones and the girls. So I did that first. I think this is Flooper, this was the Dreamers. And Marguerite and Morty, where are they? They're married. They're married. Laliana, Twinkle Toes and Jamie. There they are. And Big Flooper's legs and just the girl there, and Jamie's in there somewhere, my daddy. So there's Jamie. But you can see the different effect that you get. And I felt I had so much colour on the book that I really didn't need to add too much to the actual stamped images. So I put my stamps on, I coloured in where I wanted to colour in, I added some texture with the paste, and whatever went under the glass, I added some extra colour, and then I went in, I think I used my white paint at the time because I didn't like the look of the pens that I had at the time, but titanium white, whatever white paint you've got, and I just went in with a really fine paintbrush. Where's my paintbrushes? Where's my paintbrushes? She says, I'm looking. Don't look at the state yet. But these are my favourite for detail. And it's a 10-0 and it's a Graduate Daler Rowney liner, and I go through these a lot because I do like to add fine detail. So yeah, anything at all like that. So yeah, but doing that, it really makes it pop. Putting the colour on top. I can't put it that way because unfortunately you're not going to actually see it. So let's see if I can fix this. There you go. We'll just do it like that. You get a bit of the garden. So yeah. Again, lots of space for journaling there. I mean, you could go in there. I've got a white pen here. Hopefully it's working. Oops. Just as well that wasn't a pen. So I would just go in and, where are you? Just add some journaling lines. And I would just go and do that. Let me see that. It's not really showing up, is it? There it is. So yeah, I would just go in and do that. And then you've got your journaling spots. I mean, I've even scribbled on mine. You know me. If you've seen my work, you know the one thing I absolutely love is to write on them because they mean so much, and it's telling a story as well. But there you go, you see the colours better there. See if I can bring it up a wee bit. There you go. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. So she dreamed of faraway places and darling adventures. I love the Tim Holtz charms. But yeah, it's just to give you some ideas. There's Jamie. And then you can see that I've painted a scarf. And I actually painted it on the top. I just drew around the outline of the stamp on top of the glass. You're getting to really see it there. It just makes me happy. So yeah, I would add some journaling lines in these if I wanted to journal in it. So yeah, you get the general gist. There's your Laliana. She could be having a baby. The sweetest of blessings. And I love how when the ink came through, she's got like a red shoe and she's got like a turquoise kindy coloured shoe and a different colour on her dress as well. Did love it. And lastly, miracles. My book is falling apart. It's falling apart. So this was the miracle journal. And I just made it out of junk. Wait to see if I've got paper. It was just out of something that came in packaging from, I think it was leggings or jeans, and I kept it because I liked the feel of it. I loved the fact that you can crush it as well and you get all the lines. And all I did was the same as I did for this wee one. I went into it a lot. The paint goes differently on it because I didn't put, you could put clear gesso on it. Or white gesso, it's up to you, and it would treat the paper, but I kind of liked the softness and the crinkliness how it is, and because it added tags and stuff, it actually thickened it up. So tiny bit of fabric, got my handmade tape for the didgeridoo-dahs, and yeah, again my glass, just picking out certain words. There's stacks of room for journaling on something like this. There's your tags, some scraps of tissue paper, and in behind there's some sequins, and it was breathe and let go, stay true to who you are, and it was about the magic and blessings. Again, watch, enjoy, breathe, free in nature. Flip, again, see it's your tag and some journaling there. Lots of this paper, I did a big sheet and I tore a lot of it up, but if you have a look, I went in and I patched a lot of places just to give it a bit more firmness. It's just about, there she goes, there's wild and free, hello darling. You can see I haven't coloured these images in. It's the colour that I first put down that kind of shines through, and then I've just went in, I think it was a white pen that time. This is a bigger acrylic paint marker, so if you've got a permanent paint marker, I haven't went past these for a while. I think they're really, really good. I love them. It's my new favourite pen. So yeah, the patchwork paper really thickens it up and gives it a lovely effect. To your miracles. I call that my soul, the soul cycle. I just love it. And then there's a wee book inside there as well with the miracles in everyday life. Again, I suppose this is about gratitude and it's about thanks about what we have in our life. So there I've put down what makes me happy and thankful for is the fact we get music, the rain makes, when rainbows are born, the miracles in everyday life, loads of wee bits and bobs in there, quiet whispers. So yeah, you can make your pockets. Again, there's you can see the current theme coming again. I did some of the, I'm talking really fast, I did some of the blossoms, and I did them on watercolour and I painted them, and I quite liked the effect of cutting them out and just put them under tissue paper so they just kind of keep through there. And I did it in the same colours as what I'd already worked on in the book. I love the hot pink I used. I got really brave with the paint. But yeah, so you get a general idea. There she is. Hello, my darling. Joy. Blooming love and joy. So lots there for you to go on with for ideas and inspiration. My back bit broke. My grass broke, but it's very apt. It's tread softly, I've spread my dreams under your feet. And then I broke it. This I'm going to have to fix because it's coming away, so I'll get some of my tape and I will fix it down. So yeah, that is a wee bit of inspiration for you on some books. There is a lot more. I'm so happy I found this one. But I just thought, you're not having to do what I do. You do what makes you happy. You could even do a book and you can use your scrapbook papers or make your own papers with some of the wee individual elements on the stamps. It is completely up to you. But I will be back. I just wanted to share a wee bit of inspiration on all the different books. This song really has my heart right now, and I'm looking forward to doing another one, but I think my next one, I might use this, and I might use this. But I'll be back, and I promise you I'll show you how I get it bound and a few other things along the way as well. Until now, bye! Love yous, hope it made sense.